Kia ora.
Kia ora.
And Maitaki for joining us as we continue our quest to discover the unspoiled islands of the South Pacific. In this video, we are still in the Cook Islands and we're exploring the island of Manihiki, which is the Black Pearl capital of the Cook Islands. How does one get to Manihiki? We were fortunate that we did a round-trip tour of the Northern Islands, which started with Puka Puka, took us to Manihiki, and from Manihiki to Penryn. How did we get to these places? With Raro Air and their jet. They have special offers 2 or 3 times a year that you can jump on the jet with a few other people. The flight seats up to 7 people. In our case, we were 3 visitors, 1 tour guide and 2 pilots. So basically, we were treated like royalty. Our own jet for a whole week. 2 pilots flying us wherever we want to go.
Connection between Puka Puka and Manihiki was about 45 minutes flight, but there's also a weekly connection from Rarotonga to Manihiki with Air Rarotonga. This flight is actually with a smaller plane and it takes 4.5 hours, but on a weekly basis.
Other ways of getting to Manihiki is by boat. One can travel from Rarotonga to Manihiki by, there's a cargo boat with a bit of accommodation. It takes a bit longer to get there. And there's a ship that travels from Hawaii every now and then, also with supplies. It's a huge sail ship. One can jump on that one as well. Otherwise, there's not many other options of getting to Manihiki. And that's why we love going to these places. Not many other people go there. Living in Manihiki, as usual with the other islands, one lands on a coral runway, short coral runway. Can't land there with big planes, only small little planes, jets, propeller planes. Lagoon is about 20 square kilometers. The whole lagoon is encompassed by a whole string of motors, up to 40 of them.
Yeah, there are actually 2 bigger motors, one where the plane is landing on, and the other one where Tauhunu, the main village, and also the one and only guest house is located on. Other than that, the motors are really tiny and Southie style-like, and I always call them, like pearls on the necklace.
The lagoon itself reaches depth of 75 meters, so it's relatively dark blue at some places, but it's also like the turquoise and the light blues. It's a whole range of blues, and as I've always said, it's clear blue has been invented in the Cook Islands.
Manihiki has only 212 inhabitants, which is not that much, and you hardly can find them. They are all over the place. There's also a smaller island. It's called the sister island of Rakahanga, which is about 40 kilometers north of Manihiki, with another 83 inhabitants on that.
As we arrived, we took about 150-200 meter walk to the other side of the motor. As we approached the motor, as with all lagoons around here, as you approach them, just this amazing tropical paradise opens up. All the blues, the white beaches, the green vegetation, the palms, absolutely breathtaking sights.
We had another boat ride, so crossing the lagoon on its northern end. It was about 20 minutes from the motu where we landed, which is Motu Ngake to Motu Tokarau, with the main village Tauhunu. And the accommodation was pretty cool because 2 overwater bungalows directly on the beach, of course, and this is where we were dropped off, Manihiki Lagoon Villas.
It happens to be that our host, which was also our tour guide, is a co-shop owner. As you well know, we own a dive and surf shop in Rarotonga, and he has the Black Pearl, Kora's Black Pearl's trading shop there, and he happens to have a farm, a Black Pearl farm in Manihiki as well, and it's this farm that we went to visit.
So Kora was our host and he was a perfect one. And with the accommodation, actually it is like on many of these outer islands, so there is no restaurant, no bar, there's nothing around where you can find your dishes, so the host is catering for you.
Not unlike any other islands in the Cook Islands, they're all the same. No shops, no restaurants, no bars, no clubs, niente nada. One's host would take care of you. They would provide whatever is needed in terms of beverages, whatever is needed in terms of meals. Meals were brought to us in the evenings, locally cooked meals, very tasty. Again, a little bit too much than one can eat. But also, the accommodation was well stocked. So if coffee is important, you bring your own coffee. If snacks are important or energy kind of bars, bring them along as well.
That's actually the summary. Whatever you really like to have, what your favorite food is, what you don't want to miss, you should bring it.
Right. Day one, our host organised a scooter for us and we explored the main island. We had a look around, we saw the harbour, the town, hospital it has, quite a nice hospital actually.
Yeah.
It has a school, it has blue sky, which is the telecom provider. The island itself is amazing. It has different different locations, different feels. There is the tropical side of it. There is the pool side, rock pools on the one side of it, where you can amazingly swim with sharks and a lot of tropical fish as well. And then there is sort of a swampish area, which is like an Amazon type area, where it's sort of a nursery for milkfish.
You absolutely have to do on Manihiki because it is about the black pearls. You have to visit one of the pearl farms. And I'm speaking from experience. It's completely different to French Polynesia, Tahiti, where you are taken through the process like a school class. It's just a presentation. This on Manihiki, it's a different story. So you're going with the locals, I mean, in our case, ideally with a host who's owning a pearl firm.
We put them on the line, and then we tie them up, and then they sit like this.
Okay.
They're about a half a meter each on the line, separated. So they are left like this on the line for about 2 to 3 years to make sure that the lagoon, the oysters, is actually spawning. Okay. So we have to try and get this before they start to spawn.
Actually really living on stilts in the middle of the lagoon, built pearl farm houses.
It's amazing, these little islands that they build their houses on, because you have this very dark lagoon and then all of a sudden a little island and amazing turquoise and blue waters around that before it gets deep again.
Right, and they have everything. They have their kitchen and their bedrooms and everything, and of course the area where they prepare the shells and everything around harvesting the pearls.
They had them when we were there. They had a chap from Japan. They call them engineers. They do the sort of fertilization of the pearls to get the best possible black pearl harvest. That was fascinating to see how he would do that, and nothing goes to waste. Once they've harvested the pearls, very often they would obviously keep the shells, and jewelry is made from the shells because they're very pearlescent, and the flesh is eaten, cooked or eaten raw. So it's oysters. You're having some oyster.
What we did is we went to all these tiny little motos. We hiked actually between them. We went on snorkeling, and we just being out there and just enjoying this amazing overview in the lagoon. And all the time you're always on your own. You don't need to share the beach with anybody. So every moto you discover on your own. You have the water, you can snorkel wherever you want to.
Yeah, each little motor has got its own special little gift, if you want, own special little surprise. Some of them had really the blue turquoise water where you could snorkel and discover a lot of fish. Others had this beautiful white beaches with the coconut palms. Others had nurseries for sharks, and we even came across stingrays in there. But a lot of black-tip sharks, some of them very curious, coming very close and checking us out. Manihiki, like the other outer islands of the Cook Islands, really doesn't cater for much in terms of popular sports like surfing, kite surfing, windsurfing, scuba. There's no scuba divers there, although there on Manihiki one could possibly rent some or obtain some scuba gear through your host. There's not much, but it can be arranged. Deep sea fishing, they don't go out there and do deep sea fishing. You might be able to do a bit of lagoon fishing. So if there's anything special that you want to do while you're there, bring your gear.
You always can throw in as a mask and the snorkel, but on Manihiki this is actually provided. But most of the people like to have their own gear. So just throw it in. It's always worth to go for a snorkel. That's
absolutely.
For sure. And we also have to consider, because this is one of the specialities of these kinds of islands, is spearfishing. So you can go with the locals. It's just about deep diving, catch your fish with a spear gun. And this is what you can do anytime, and your host will take you out. Hanging out on the beaches and just being in this kind of green environment in the middle of the Motus, just to find your own way, and you're always on your own. So
Absolutely.
it is this kind of silence you experience. You can just sit there and for hours and nobody will spy. So this is actually the amazing part of it. And there are 40 Motus, so enough to explore.
And imagine you're in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, trillions and trillions and trillions of liters or gallons of water, and here you are on your own, on a little motor with a lagoon on one side, the Pacific Ocean on the other side. It's an experience. It's wonderful.
Absolutely worth visiting. So on islandor.com, our website, you'll find all necessary information for your visit of Manihiki. And we also have some amazing pictures and videos for there. Other than that, also we do have an ebook with all the detailed information, contact data of the locals, where to go, what to do, all the things you need to go there and experience on your own.
Absolutely. And we have a little community page as well, where you can join and share your ideas, your love of islands with other like-minded individuals. We're on all social media. Please follow us out there. Our video, like it, subscribe to our channel. You get the latest on the new discoveries, the new explorations of islands that we're going to be done and will be doing. We also have other videos already on YouTube and on our website. Take a look at those, experience the other islands of the Cook Islands and beyond. And come with us from the beautiful island of Manihiki. Thank you very much for joining us. Me taki maata.
And happy to see you again. Me taki maata, ka kitera.
And ka kitera. Ciao.